Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. In the past I've shown you how to use these open kind of dies to use both the positive and the negative parts to the die. But today I'm going to show you another way that you can use these to create a really nice effect for your cards. So this is what I mean by open kind of dies. The dies that will give you the pattern in the card, but that you can also use the negative parts to the die for as well and create another look. And this is Grateful Lattice, and this one is called Great Effect. So what I'm going to do is use this die, and I'm going to use both pieces together, and I'm going to cut this panel out of some sturdy card. So once you've got your panel die cut, you're going to take it out of the die, and this is the piece of white card that I'm going to make my topper with. So all I'm doing is just taping it down to the card so that it doesn't move around. And I've done two pieces because I'm going to show you two different things that we can do with it. Okay, so there's the first piece and there's the second piece all taped down. Now the next thing I need to do is get a little spatula knife, and I need some embossing paste. And for this one, all I'm going to do is just spread this paste over that die cut. I'm just going to make sure it's all spread down. So I'm putting it on like spreading butter, but then I'm taking off the excess and I'm popping it back into my pot. So once you've got your embossing paste on, take off your, this is only washi tape, and all I'm doing is pulling it backwards down the card so that it doesn't tear that card underneath. So we'll just take all these tapes off very slowly, and it has brought a little bit of the card off there, but I'm going to trim it anyway, so I'm not really worried about that. So once I've done that, I can remove this die cut, and underneath I've got my pattern with the embossing paste. So the next thing I'm going to do is just sprinkle this with some glitter. So we'll just spread it around, take off the excess, and then the next thing I need to do is just leave that to dry. And once that's dry, I'm going to trim that down for my card. So I'm just going to pop that on one side for now and show you something else that you can do with the embossing paste. So another thing you can do is take your distress inks and just pop some colour down onto your mat, and then take some of your embossing paste and you can mix the colour in to change the colour of your embossing paste. And then all you're going to do with that is just spread it on your card the same. So I'm only doing a third of this. It's like buttering your toast. So once I've done that, I'm just going to clean off the spatula, clean up the colour of my mat, clean off my fingers, and I'm going to repeat the process with another colour. So I'll just put a little bit down there, and this is a darker shade of green. So this one is cracked pistachio, and we'll put some more down because I need it a bit darker. And I'm just going to spread that over the top of the other one, or alongside the other one, not over the top. And I should have made a little bit more because I don't have enough on my knife to spread that out. So I'm just going to make up a little bit more. Make sure your knife's clean before you stick it back into your pot. And I'll just spread that around. Now the difference is it may be a different shade, but not to worry, we'll manage. Not too bad. So once I've done that, I'm going to clean that off again. Clean my mat. And we'll go with another shade, and this one is Salty Ocean. So we'll pop that down there and make sure we've got enough this time. So with a clean knife, we'll go back into the embossing paste and spread it around, and then we'll come on to the die cut and we'll take it the rest of the way down the card. So once I've got all my paste on, I'm just taking off the masking tape as I did before, and it's stuck to my fingers. Now you must make sure that you clean that craft knife, that spatula knife off properly, because if you don't, your embossing paste will dry on it and you'll never be able to use it again because it'll go all knobbly. So with some water and some towel, just make sure it's really clean, and clean your craft mat off as well. And then you can peel this off and you've got an ombre effect with your embossing paste onto your card. Pop it on one side to dry, and once it's dry you can then trim it down and add it to your card. So now that my other piece is dry and I've trimmed it down, I'm going to show you how to make a card from this particular panel. So once the glittery effect has dried on your card, I'm going to mat and layer this onto some cream card. And then for my base card, I've created just a top folding white card. I've created a cream mat, and I've created another white mat which I have embossed. So I've got this now ready to use, and these are the components that I've made for the rest of my card. I'm going to back this onto some cream card, and from the same cream card I've made an oval scalloped layer for my sentiment, which I've stamped and embossed. This is my top folding base card, and I've used the same cream card to mat and layer, and another white panel which I have now dry embossed. So I'm going to go ahead and put this all together. So I'm just going to flat glue all these white bits onto the cream bits. That's all I'm doing at the moment. So I'm just going to pop that on there. I've matted and layered this one, that's my base card, and I'm going to mat and layer this one. So I'm just using Cosmic Shimmer Dries Clear Glue and putting some around the edge and a squiggle down the middle. And I'm going to add that to that cream layer. I'll turn it over and press it down. Now I can start assembling my card. So with this one I've got a piece of craft foam that I'm going to attach to the back. So that's going to sit along there. and that's then going to sit on the front of my card along there. I found some really nice cream ribbon in my stash, so I'm going to add a piece of this around the card there, and then with some foam tape on the back of the sentiment I'm going to pop this onto the card. Now I'm not taking the backings off yet, but when I do I will be adding some wet glue to these strips because it's being stuck to some glitter card. So that will sit off centre along there. And then I've got a really pretty selection of flowers that will all blend in with this colour scheme. So I shall add in some leaves, and then I shall pop in some flowers along the side, and I've got some rosebuds, so I shall glue all those in place, and then I shall get back to you when I've done that. So I've got all these items now stuck to my layers, and then all I need to do is just add some glue to the back, and I'm putting plenty on so that it stays in place, and I'm going to add that to my base card. So my flowers and my little centre to my bow, they're from Wild Orchid Crafts, and the glitter is from Glitter Magic, and my little pearls in the side are from Want to Scrap, and the beautiful satin ribbon is from Mayflower. Now once I've got that in place, all I'm going to do is just add in some little dots of glue, and this glue will dry clear and it will dry flat. And then I'm just going to sprinkle those with some glitter and tap off the surplus, and then once that's dry I can just dust over it with a brush just to take away the excess glitter and some of the glue strings. So there you've got a finished card with a beautiful glittered background and a really pretty effect. Thanks for watching. I'll add all the links in my blog, which is Flowers, Ribbons and Pearls, and I do hope you'll pop by again. Bye for now.